Alrighty, y'all. I know it's been a minute since we've played last. Probably even longer than we played before the last session.
Mhm.
So, just to give a real quick recap, y'all had discovered Cinder in her disheveled, very beaten state and had taken her up to the River District on I guess, the suggestion of Halfgor, who said that most clerics were up north in the River District. And as you made your way up to the River District, you found the first available building was the Cathedral of the Way, a very large, like grand structure. And when you got into the cathedral, you found that it was packed to the brim with already injured people, which was a surprise, especially this late at night. But you'd found that most of the injured people were victims of a very similar attack. Pieces of metal shoved into their bodies in a surgical manner, but also very crude, with very seemingly primitive instruments or maybe primitive methods of putting these into the bodies. And I think Pyrite succeeded on an Arcana check and found that the other people that did not have these metal pieces sticking out of their bodies were victims of vampire attacks,
Mhm.
with bites on their necks and passed out almost close to death. You helped the brother free up a space by attempting, almost failing at a surgery to save somebody, but cleared up a space for Cinder to start getting healed. And in order to complete the surgery, complete the regeneration process, the brother at the cathedral asked for y'all to get some assistance from one of the other two temples in the district, the Temple of the Sun or the Chapel of the Guiding Hand up to the north. Y'all had first wanted to just stay behind and try and get Cinders healed up, but decided to keep Roland in place as he overlooked Cinder's body, sent Rosie as a messenger up to the Chapel of the Guiding Hand, and Halfgor, Kythos, and Pyrite went to the Temple of the Sun to negotiate terms of getting some healing supplies for the ailing cathedral. Upon getting there, you'd realize that the Temple of the Sun workers were a little bit less than charitable and immediately started asking for money or donations of magical items. And upon your humble requests for help, they laughed in your face and said that maybe the weak should die out and the strong should survive. Not wanting to hear most of this, y'all got into a quote unquote heated argument with a brother Austin, a larger figure with a sleeveless tunic that punched Kythos in the face after hearing that his mom was not abandoning him and instead butt ass naked at the quote of Kythos, butt ass naked at the flop with Kythos, Pyrite, and Halfgore.
You're gonna look at me and tell me I'm wrong.
It was not probably the most key moment for that introduction, but it worked. He got worked up. Maybe realized that maybe staying stagnant was not the best course of action. But decided to stay behind with Sister Fee instead. After leaving, finding no help from the Temple of the Sun, y'all went to the chapel where the deacon there, Deacon Verlemeyer, was already preparing some healing supplies, some poultices, some ingredients, and casting materials for a regeneration spell. Just with what little that they had lying around, and agreed to come by and help with some of the assistance of the healing, of these victims. When y'all got back, the brother decided to get back in motion of the regeneration spell and went into a trance. But as he went into a trance of doing this regeneration spell to get Cinder back on her feet, the thralls that y'all had investigated earlier awoke from their magically induced slumber now as mind-controlled vampire thralls and started to attack. After a grueling battle, took a long time, you finally felled all of them with the assistance late in the game by Austin, who broke through a window and toasted 2 vampires that were fleeing thanks to a clutch Dispel Dead divine intervention from Kythos. And at the very end, the spell was complete, and Cinder started to come through. I think that was the furthest extent that we got, unless y'all remember anything else. I think that's pretty much this.
One of the vampires got away.
Yeah, one of them got away and ran into the park. So, y'all have witnessed all this. The regeneration is completing. Cinder is still not conscious. The brother, I think his name might have been like Brother Roberts. I think that was his name.
That sounds right.
Yeah, so Brother Roberts is standing. He's very winded. You can tell that this spell has taken a lot out of him. He's like, I thank you for your assistance in to protecting me and the other the other people here, the infirm. I'll have the orderlies try and stabilize as many people as we can, but it looks like Cinder is going to make it. He looks at all of you and says, thank you again, and thank you, Brother Verlemeyer, or Deacon Verlemeyer, for felling those thralls as effectively as you did. Verlemeyer, he bows his head and says, think nothing of it. I will protect the community in any ways I can, even if it's in a different church than my own. They both nod.
Do you think we should give chase out to that one vampire that escaped in the park?
Brother Roberts looks to the window, and he says, I would be of very little help, but is a deacon and this strapping young fellow, I don't know his name, he gestures to Austin, with him at your side, I'm sure you can track him down and take care of whatever you might need. But we'll look after Cinder, and she should come through.
So we may be able to look for tracks or something like that, like using perception or whatever it is, or stuff like that.
Sure. Roll investigation.
Okey-dokey.
Yeah, Kytha, start investigating. What do you find?
Wait, hold up. I got +0 on investigation. Team last resort. Does anybody here have just like that thrill for investigating?
I have. Sorry, I refreshed my page. That's investigation. I also have +0. Let's get it.
I actually have +1.
Oh, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I think we got a detective over here.
All right, let's see if I can sniff out that Democrat bastard, the bloodsucker.
Halfgor. Halfgor is gonna run up behind you and give you a back rub and say,
actually, if you squint a little bit, you might be able to see the tracks a little bit better.
And he's gonna give you the help action so you can roll with advantage.
That's really good. I got a 3 on the first one, so I'm gonna roll again. I got a 10.
All right.
So with a 10, I will say that you can track them for a little bit, but you'll have to succeed on another one later on to get like a full extent. So you can tell like in the general direction of where this vampire thrall had run to, but you won't be able to tell exactly like what his final destination is going to be. So you see like some glass shattered and getting spread out, and some blood dripping down from his leg as he runs through the street. But like it's a little bit rainy and windy now, kind of misting outside, and the rain is quickly washing away the blood as it pours down the streets. So Austin's going to see that you're picking up on a trail, and he's going to be like, looks like we have to be hard on the trail. I'm gonna jump out and I'm gonna beat that son of a bitch when we get to him. And he's
I agree with you,
he's gonna
man.
jump out the window and immediately start sprinting in the direction of wherever Pyrite's going.
Can I assume that Cinder will be safe now, or am I still kind of in that like defensive mode? Like, because we know the thralls are gone, but I don't know if something bad could still happen to her. Like I'm on the fence. I guess I'm on the fence about like leaving her side still, even though she's gonna pull through.
So the brother Roberts, he looks to you and he says, the threat from the inside is at least taken care of for now. I will do my best to look over the people. I can't promise that it's going to be as protected as with y'all here, unless Brother Verlemeyer wants to stay behind and help look after these folks as well. And the deacon, he looks around, he places his sword on the ground, kind of in like a pensive stance. He shrugs and says, just for tonight, I can stay behind and look after this flock.
The sooner we take care of this vampire escapee, the less vampires we'll have to deal with in the future.
I'm gonna say, Kythos Pyrite, do you guys think you can do it on your own? Because I honestly think I still want to stay by Cinder's side. Maybe go through like some of, like I can start investigating before the deacons like do stuff. Just like kind of go through the vampire thralls' clothing, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe get some different clues. Like I'm gonna do my usual pickpocketing, but I might be able to learn something in the meantime. And
Look, man, I'm running after this vampire. If you're coming, just come along.
Yeah, you got to
If
make a
you're not,
decision.
I'm
It's
going.
like they're already on the way.
Here.
Stand
I'm
back.
here to protect Cinder. We can't. I'm not leaving her with strangers.
All right.
More vampire for me.
Yeah. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, gang.
So,
And
Pyrite.
half is coming with us too.
Oh, great. I get to stay and run after a bunch of vampires?
He looks back.
I guess one.
He looks at Roland and he's like, yeah, I'll take my chances. and then goes with y'all out into the streets.
We don't want you alone with Roland. We really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Kythos, Pyrite, Halfgor, and Austin, they all run out into the streets to chase after this vampire thrall. So as y'all get to the middle of the street, so you guys have run, if you check the map, out the front and heading to the exact west. Past the Temple of the Sun, but that is about where the trail ends, right at this corner. So I'll have Pyrite, if you want to do another investigation check.
Does it have to be investigation or can it be perception?
I would say, since you're actively trying to like track someone, perception is more of like your environment's, investigation is like taking it a little bit deeper.
Okay, got it.
I look around. I sniff the wind.
Halfgor gives you a hanky to blow your nose and gives you the help action.
If I roll a nat 1.
Okay, he gives you the help action. Please, let's see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 1+1.
Like, yeah, your looks like your nostrils are a little clogged.
Halfgor,
I get a 9.
It's a little windy and rainy. You're losing track of them. I will say I'll allow one more person to make an investigation check.
Hold up. Kythos Stormbringer. Am I allowed to control the rain in any way to help in our investigation?
Shh. Roll a religion check.
John Lennon, please. God.
please.
Yoko's not that bad. I was joking earlier.
He was not joking. That one.
15.
15. Okay. All right. So you send your prayers up to the heavens, and you hear, like, in the back of your mind, you're like, I think I can make a little bit of a clear day. Oh, clear night. and the wind kind of like dies down a little bit for a moment, and like the rain stops hitting your face. The moon kind of peeks out of the clouds just for a second. It illuminates the ground about where these footsteps have been falling. You see a little bit of flecks of blood like seeping into the cobblestone. You can roll your next investigation with advantage. The DC has dropped from a 15 down to a 12.
Wait. All right,
Let's try it.
11.
All right.
4.
An 11.
4. Damn it.
No.
Oh my.
All right. So even with this ability to kind of see a little bit clearer, it's still a little bit too much. You're not able to track exactly where this vampire thrall has gone. And you look around. It's like the dead of night. There's nobody walking around. You don't hear anything, just like the wind kind of whipping about as the storm picks back up and the moon kind of starts to duck in and out from behind the clouds, casting waves of shadow upon the ground, kind of in like a dark painting of white light bathing upon this shadowed environment.
Yeah. Boys, well, we're going to have to cut our losses here. I cannot see shit. And John Lennon came through a little bit, but it is what it is.
Who the fuck's John Lennon?
Well, I mean, Roland's still trying to look through those pockets. Maybe there is a little bit of a lead in one of the other people. Who knows?
You may be onto something, Halfgor. You've never once been wrong.
I mean, I don't want to go check on him. I think I might just wait outside.
Mm-hmm. Do we think that all the vampires came from the same place, or that they'd be returning? Because I thought they were all just random victims.
Well, I mean, if there's always a chance. Maybe one of them's a plant.
I'm pretty sure they were all people.
Well, who knows? But
we'll table that thought for now.
I don't know. This is all a little much for me.
I'm no botanist, but I don't think they're plants.
That's a pretty good one. All right.
He slaps his knee.
That was a real knee slapper. I think we gotta regroup and go back to the church, and we'll call it a day. If there's like a swarm of vampires in the future, we'll take care of it then. But I don't think we can do much more.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan. Let's regroup for now. We've lost the lead.
And he kind of puts his journal away. He'd been monologuing about like what has been going on, and he shoves his journal back into his back pocket.
What was that? What was that booklet I just saw you hastily put away there?
Nothing. I was just making a color commentary of what has been going on, right?
Okay.
Did you just write down "we let the vampire go" and then in big parentheses, big foreshadowing?
No. I typed it. I said sequel tie-in ?
I see.
All right. A spin-off.
Really knowing how to market it.
It takes me back.
It's a spin-off. We're making a cinematic universe.
It takes me back to when I first met Halfgor, and the second I saw him writing something in a book, I like genuinely was filled with rage and chased after him.
How dare he?
Oh
But
yeah,
anyway,
I really thought you were gonna kill me. I mean, I still think you guys probably will. I'm fearing for my life.
I won't. I can assure you I won't, but I can't speak on behalf of Lone Wolf McGee back at the church.
Roland's howling at the moon.
I hear Halfgor's obnoxious voice in the wind. My blade gets slightly sharper as a result.
I've told you before, we've never intentionally killed a companion.
Oh.
Well, that's reassuring, I guess. But I'll try my best to not be intentionally killed. And he gives you a really weak smile. And his big glob of sweat rolls out of off his forehead.
That's why we keep you around. I give him a big slap on the back. Redirect him back towards the church we just came from.
Gotcha.
I like rub his head, like just to shovel his hair a little bit.
So y'all four make your way back over to the cathedral. While they're doing that, Roland, so you're going through the pockets.
Yeah,
Everybody?
I want to investigate the thrall bodies.
All right.
Like, I also didn't want to leave Cinder's side, so I'm doing it like within eyesight of her.
Well, there's
again, I don't
only
wanna leave
two.
her in
There's
the
only
company of
two
Cinder.
thralls that are within Cinder's side.
Okay, I'll investigate those first.
Okay. So I'll give you an investigation check. See if there's anything on him.
Okay. And then I'm gonna pickpocket as well. It's just investigating is more so the first action, just to see if there are any ties to like how they were turned, when, who, what, where, why, when, how. Maybe somehow if they manage to have a map to the vampire mansion, you never know. So I'm rolling investigation. A 2.
Mm-hmm.
What does a 2 get me?
You find the secret of Vaderon. There's a crypt that is far beneath the surface. Ancient secrets that lie within. And the most powerful MacGuffin item is actually beneath your very feet. 2 feet down,
That's
2
what
feet
I-
left.
That's what I imagined, pulling out of his pocket, but instead there was pocket lint.
It's a bingo card.
Bingo.
It's not
Interesting.
filled out. You might have a chance.
I pocket the bingo card. This is a part of the investigation. So,
All right,
Could
so
be.
that was one. You got another one.
another investigation check, or
Another
like I
investigation.
don't even need to roll to pickpocket these people. Since
They-
they're
I'm
dead, right?
I'm counting it as both.
Okay. But you're rolling the worst value. You're not letting me pickpocket for like my plus fucking like 15.
Well, why do you need it? Why do you need to do sleight of hand? It's out in the open. Brother Roberts,
know. I
he's
mean,
he's
maybe-
like, could you maybe leave the looting of the bodies till like maybe after you're out of the church?
Investigation, sir. I just helped save your people. Don't start getting.
Is
lowly
that
on me.
fellow's bingo card?
Yes, I think it could point us in the right direction as to who turned these vampires.
You're pocketing
Right? You have anything to say about-
you're pocketing all that man's money. You're really rifling through his pockets hard.
Sir, I don't even know where this bingo card goes to, unless you do.
It says it at the top.
I look at the top of the bingo
It says
card.
Big Ralph's bingo.
Well, good. Now we have a lead. We go to Big Ralph's bingo and see if there's any vampire ties there.
Big Ralph's bingo is in the dock wards. How is that going to relate to the vampire attacks here?
I ignore him and loot the other dude.
Excuse me.
I rolled a 4 for that.
Okay,
Not to make James as DM like a character in this universe, like a real character, but this is Rich coming from the guy that loots every dead body in Red Dead 2.
well,
I didn't say that, sir.
I don't do it in a church.
Okay, that's.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
I think that in my mind. I didn't say that.
Arthur Morgan's a good man. All right. Anyways, you find a little locket actually in this person's pocket. Inside is a picture of a gnomish woman. Very pretty. This man is short in stature, and he has a wedding ring in his pocket
Ooh,
in a box.
All right, I'll take all of that. You think I'm kidding? I mean, it's not like they need it anymore. But also,
Yeah, go ahead.
But
Roll,
also-
roll your sleight of hand.
I was gonna say, but also genuinely, like, we could go to Big Ralph's bingo. Like, obviously, Cinder's our #1 lead. We're gonna ask her what happened. We're gonna go that route first. But all else fails, like, I'm going to Big Ralph's bingo. And I'm gonna go find this guy's wife, and then
Two different
learn
guys.
more.
Two different guys.
Yeah, the other guy's wife. You know what I mean? I mean, they could all be related. You never know. Anyways, let me remember my gloves of thievery. What does it give me? It's a +5. So it's just a flat +5. Okay. So we got sleight of hand and then add 5 to whatever this is. God fucking damn it. Okay, it's 13 with the 8 roll.
Since you're doing this, I'm gonna have the father roll a perception check to see if he sees you take the ring.
Yeah, that's all good.
He gets a +0 to it, to 12.
Okay. All right, so we're good. We're good.
He's too busy like staunching the bleeding of somebody that just like erupted. So you're able to loot this dead body while the priest isn't looking.
Yep. So I'll take the ring, the locket, and the bingo sheet. Don't laugh. I'm not. It's not sold yet, motherfuckers. You don't even see me doing this. I see that smirk, Max.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kythos.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, I yoink those. Is there another thrall body? You said there was like more, but the 2 were near Cinder. Right?
Yeah, there's 2 more. There's like the 2 that Verlemeyer. There's one that Verlemeyer killed, and the other one bailed. So there's one more. It's kind of across the room.
All right. Nice gif. I wanna go loot the other one. Genuinely, genuinely, my objective right now is to investigate. The fact that Cinder got as like Shrek as she did is like still my biggest concern. Like I don't care about pawning off a wedding ring when like the end loot value of like all of these orgs is such a bigger job. If we don't know where the vampire's hideout is, then I can't rob the vampire hideout. In addition to all of that, a wedding ring is not the objective here.
And assuming that there even is a vampire hideout, we don't even know that yet.
Oh, there absolutely is. If there are vampires in town, and there are, based on what we saw, there is a vampire hideout.
Yeah.
So I would like to walk towards the other body.
All right. Roll a perception check as you walk away.
Mm-hmm. It's a 21, but it's a 17 plus a 4.
All right.
So.
Everything looks normal. Wink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nah, I'm just kidding. You see that Cinder is completely disappeared. She's not there anymore. The second you turn around.
The fuck?
I'm joking. She's right there. All right.
Right.
There's a dead body across the room. You can go to it.
All right. I go to it. Sorry, I just have to ship those.
Show it.
All right. I'm walking to the body. I want to investigate, see if there's any clues. So far, we've got a widowed wife, a dude who liked bingo, and whatever this one's about to provide.
All right. So there's this body of. It's kind of like a portly-looking dwarf. And yeah, go ahead. Roll your investigation.
Dude, low rolls in these fucking investigations. A 5.
So you see a scribbled note in his pocket, and it says to do, let Scroochy Moochie out, feed dog, and pick up kids from cousin.
Damn. Guy had a wife and kids too. Tragic.
Womp
All right.
womp.
And you also see a coin purse for 10 gold.
All right. I'm taking both. I mean, obviously. I mean, just it makes sense.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Yoinking that. It's again a 13,
Okay.
including the +5 from the Gloves of Thievery.
15 perception check from the fella.
Yeah, and
Is could I kindly ask you to put the man's coin purse back on the body?
do what with it? Just
Leave
leave
it.
it there for the dead.
Leave it
So
for
you
the
can put it
dead.
in your donation box.
Leave it
No,
for
no,
the.
no, no, no. This is payment for helping your problem here. So I'm gonna put it in my own pocket.
This man didn't pay for anything. He didn't pay to be killed and turned into a vampire.
His money's going towards the good cause of having less people die.
Yeah. Well, then he'll be grateful to know that I'm looking to put a stop to it and take down these vampires for hurting my friend. So the coin will go a long way, sire.
That just seems like stealing.
Well, you have it your way.
It just seems like stealing and trying to justify it with a very loose definition of what you're planning on doing.
That sounds like tough words coming from a guy that just got his ass saved.
Coming from a guy who just regenerated this person for free and has been caring for all these people?
Are we back at the in the sanctuary yet, or are we still outside?
You're still walking out, but I would say like you're like probably at the door and you hear this conversation going on.
So where exactly is the bingo location that's on this card?
Roll a history.
Apparently I've been here before. 18.
18. So, Big Ralph's bingo is in the dock ward. It's like on the opposite part near the residential area that's not near the Flop or Fiona's. It's more southeast.
Okay. Because maybe, well, I don't know. It's a thought. Okay. So at least I kind of know where to go if we have the time to do that. I mean, we have so many other side quests mounting.
Sure.
Side and main quests together. So, but we'll put it on the docket.
So you can start with those side quests by putting the gold back in that poor man's pocket.
Sir, you're gonna you can say anything you want. The gold is not going back in his pocket.
All right, can I ask you to at least leave and stop looting the bodies?
Not until my friend wakes up. So you're stuck with me until then.
No, could you just
unless you want to help me?
Could you just stand outside? I would prefer if you. I can look after the. Okay, then can you just put the gold back on the body? It's a simple request.
Where is the gold going to go after it disappears off of
this man's family? I would assume.
Well, good news is I'm actually gonna go talk to their family members. That's literally the objective after we're done here. Because as I said, me and my crew want to find the vampires that did this, so that maybe you don't have more bodies mounting in your cathedral. We're working together here. Our goals are the same. I am helping you
by stealing money.
He's dead.
Yes, and I'm going to give it back to the family whenever they get back.
I am also going to give it back to the family.
Roll deception.
Any less capable of doing
Roll
that?
deception. Are you going to?
I'm genuinely not even trying to deceive him. Like genuinely, again, I will say, like the reward at the end of finding a vampire mansion is so much greater than 10 gold off of a random dude's body.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives more credit to the fact that, oh yeah, your husband is dead, or in this cathedral. But sure, I'll still roll deception. All right, like I'm genuinely serious, right? That one on the deception, by the way.
Listen, man, I don't even know what to do at this point.
Here, take it. I have an answer. Take it. I throw the 10 gold at his head, like the dead guy's head.
At the dead guy's head. So now you just throw it. I took your money. You can have it back. Fuck you.
Here, it's on the ground. Here. I'm literally removing it from my inventory right now. He can have it back. All right. Is that good enough? I'm not leaving her side though.
Are you talking? So, are you talking to me? Or are you talking to the dead man?
I'm just ignoring him at this point. I'm just standing by Cinder. I'm just observing her.
At this point, everyone else walks into the cathedral. You see Roland throw a sack of coins down on the dead body. And
well, when we find his disgruntled wife, I'll have to let her know to get her 10 coins at the fucking cathedral.
Oh yeah,
interest.
where she can find her dead husband. Yeah, I wonder where she would be going anyways.
Maybe it wasn't a very good marriage.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
but who knows? But anyways, so
So you guys walk into the scene. The brother Roberts is still over Cinder. There is he's applying a poultice underneath like on her cheeks where some of the cuts were kind of deeper. And he says, "This poultice should help speed up the awakening process. The wounds are still very deep, but at least this might give her some consciousness, because I know you probably want to exchange some words."
Absolutely.
And after a moment or two, you guys watch, and you see like a very light flicker of life come back into Cinder's eyes. She looks up as her eyes like slowly like get adjusted to the dim light of the cathedral. She looks to the left and right of her, sees like bodies piled up, and her expression is just very stern and pale. And as her eyes like fall on you, Roland, it softens just very slightly.
That's right. You're safe now. We have you healing in the cathedral, away from the inn. Take your time.
You're in the safe hands of the last resort. But don't take too much time, because we do have a lot of quests that we're kind of on, and
Oh, you're all here. The drunk kid from the bar and the blue one.
I'm not drunk now.
Oh, I would hope not.
The blue one.
I never really got your name. You are very blue.
I appreciate it. Kaitos, nice to meet you.
We've met before. I just it's a hard time to remember so many names. I've met two blue people today. It is a lot to take in. I also just almost died, I think.
You're totally fine. Actually, you should check out Chet Baker's "Almost Blue" song. It's very, very good. Good jazz.
Who?
Don't worry about it. It's from
She's waking up out of a fucking concussion, probably.
Right, and we want to ease her into it with some smooth jazz. Okay, it's like you've never brought anybody out of a concussion.
I mean, I know a little bit of the organ. Do you know how the song goes? I might know it on the sheet music.
Oh, it's very improv, trumpety, like it's very melancholy and blue, kind of like myself, actually.
I think I'm getting a little bit of inspiration. I'll go to the organ. I'll play a little soothing jazz for everybody in the cathedral. And he walks over and he starts.
Brother Roberts, you know, walking in Memphis.
What the fuck is Memphis?
I can. Yes, I know a little bit of it. Yes. And he goes over to the organ and he starts playing.
But do I really feel
the way I feel? And he starts.
Go on, Cinder, join in. You know the words.
She's like, I have sung "Walking in Memphis" a couple times before in my younger years, but not really feeling like there's enough air in my lungs to be doing that right now. And you see that, like, even though she's trying to make light of the situation, she's still very much so like injured from the inside out. Like the regeneration spell definitely is helping. It's keeping her away from critical condition, but it's tough for her to breathe and move and speak in this condition.
All right, music later. So who did this?
Well, I would assume it was the waxworms. It was some hooded individuals that I've been following for some time. But it was two people. I had tracked them down to the dock ward at Fiona's Fine Flowers, I think. And they escorted me away. I thought I was on the inn. I thought I could get some insider information, knowing that I was
some sort of broker, and then they took me to the side, found out that I was with, well, y'all, and, well, I mean, you saw what happened next.
Interesting. Do you have anything else that might provide us a lead on where we should start looking next? I have these off of the. Well, actually, yeah, that's probably something you should know. All these dead bodies on the floor, not the ones that are about to die next to you, they're vampire thralls. So we got that to worry about as well. I took these off their bodies. So.
And when you mention that there's vampire thralls, and that's also a threat that's coming about, she almost winces at a different kind of pain, like a mental pain. She kind of like touches the side of her head, and she's just like, "Oh God, it's becoming too much."
Take your time. Take your time. There's no need to rush it.
And she looks to you, Roland, and is like, "Roland, you mind propping up one of those bodies for me? One of the thralls?"
For what? Yeah, I can do that though. Yeah. What exactly for?
So as you prop up one of the thralls, she gets a good look at them. She checks out the neck. She says, "Roland, could you do me a favor and just lift up his right shirt sleeve?"
Okay. I do as she asks. I think I'm starting to get an idea of what she's looking for.
So as you unravel the right shirt sleeve, you see it's very, very indistinguishable. It might look like a birthmark. It might look like something else. But there is 3 small little holes on his veins on his wrists. And
Bite mark.
Not exactly, Roland, but the bite mark is on their neck.
Oh. Well, what was that then?
This is.
Oh, that's where you shoot up.
Well, I mean, aren't you a little young to be knowing about all this?
No, we had dare at my high school.
Oh, well, okay, all right. No, this is just a mark of the letters.
Oh,
This is how you
I
know
see.
that this is one of. If this isn't just a run-of-the-mill vampire attack. I just had to make sure. But this one looks not part of their upper ranks, and they usually only turn and have higher level vampires as their captains and their guards. These must have just been a very, how do you say, like a desperate attempt. The letters are feeling pressured if they're making thralls and throwing them all over the city.
Well, this one died with a bingo sheet on him. Perhaps maybe they're turning vampires at the bingo place down the road. What do you think, Cinder?
At Big Ralph's? They've compromised Big Ralph's?
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that seems to be the case.
God. I have to tell so many people about this. But later.
Yeah, again, rest well.
Later.
You know.
Yeah. What would be making these vampires so restless? Is it the waxworms, or is this going to be something different?
It's hard to say, but I was following up on another lead. If I hadn't gotten, swept up with the waxworms down at the docks, there was something I was going to follow up on up here in the River District. You see, the letters were planning on having some sort of rendezvous, a meeting of sorts. It's tough to say, but I got a very vague message, maybe a location, maybe just a code name, but they said the Big Hollow Oak.
Big Hollow Oak. Writing that one down.
But
We should probably ask around about that name.
but I'm sorry I can't be more of a help, but that's as far as I got.
That's very helpful. Just even
I'm
the
gonna say,
name.
Cinder, you've been more than helpful.
Yeah,
So much appreciated.
yeah. Get the rest you need, and we'll take it from here.
Thank you, thank you. I think I just might. And she like her vision like slowly like fades for a minute, and she plops back down and just like.
Okay. Well, at least we know she's alive. And now we have another lead. We've got the bingo place and whatever the big hollow oak is. I'll put that on the list of main quest, side quests to do.
So, as Cinder passes out again, Brother Roberts walks back over. He gets off the organ, takes a quick bow, and looks back over and says, "How was the conversation with Miss Cinder? Enlightening, I hope."
Do you know anything about hollow oaks, specifically big ones?
What? You mean like
Like,
in general? What are you talking about?
just in general, yeah.
A big hollow oak.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm asking for. Do you know anything about it? One here,
I mean,
one in the River District.
if anything, it might mean some sort of tree in the Great Park. The River District it's mostly comprised of the River District Park, or Vaderon Park, as you'd say. There might be a big hollow oak tree out there somewhere. If
I
I would
see.
wager a guess.
Curious. Just pondering on all of this.
I mean, that is the extent of what I would know. There aren't many trees in the city. It doesn't allow for much life. That's why the park is it's a great place to gain some respite and experience it if you can't make your ways outside of the city walls. It's a very uncommon thing to see. But if you're looking for some sort of tree, he gestures to you, by right. Then I would suggest that you would head there.
I see. Yeah, that would make sense.
But I mean, if there's anything else that you need from me to assist in this investigation or anything, just let me know.
Will do, sir. Walk away from him.
Yeah, we'll reach out if we need anything.
All right. So, what are you guys gonna do from this point on? Like, you have a couple of options that you can go to.
It's a good question, actually.
Is the park like the spot on the map that we're currently looking on?
So,
the street?
yes, if you check. So, let me go back over to the map. So this is the area that you have been at the most. This is the cathedral. It's right there. The park entrance right there, and as you can see, it's a fairly large park.
I'm cool with looking at the park if you guys are okay with that.
Okay, yeah. So are those on our side of the river? Are those trees?
Yes, there are trees over here. I do apologize, but I just didn't get around to putting them all in.
Okay.
All good.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. Looking at the map now, because we followed it, at least as it was going west. So I say let's go to the park and see if we can't find some of the the letters and see if we can't stop this ahead of time.
Okay.
I'm with you on
I'm for
that.
that.
And after that, we can go home, right? Right?
You can go
Call
home
him, right?
whenever you want, buddy. Your services have expired.
Oh my god. Thank you. And Halfgor immediately starts making his way for the door.
I've had enough of that little shit.
All right, see you bright and early tomorrow.
Yeah, where should I meet you?
Probably at the.
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you. I'm already on my way out. I guess I'll just have to look for y'all tomorrow.
We'll find him.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sure we'll run into him again, whether we want to or not.
Yeah.
And we want to. Use our legal advice. Let's not forget.
Yeah, maybe he'll lead us to the letters, since I once thought he was a vampire. Or could still be. We shall see.
I doubt Halfgor's a vampire, but
He could be a high-ranking member, but we should have checked his wrist. Actually, who wants to chase after him?
just check it. It'll be fine.
He's running down
Anyone?
the street.
This
You,
dude-
you,
this
you
dude's
hear
like-
you hear the loud like wet like footsteps on cobblestone as he makes his way away from y'all.
This dude was like making love to a fish in a bar earlier. I don't think we gotta watch him.
Hey, you never know. That could be a secret letter handshake.
Yeah.
So, as for things to find in the park, we can find something that'll further advance us with the Timberborns, the Waxworms, possibly. We could find something that relates to letters, which might relate to all of this. We might even be able to find, probably not, the Sons of the Machine, possibly, and see if, they're hanging out in a park, as ruffians might do. So I'm all in on the park. I'm sure, again, walking anywhere in this fucking town, we're gonna stumble upon, something, seeing as how the letters have such a large grouping of minions.
I'm feeling good that we're just gonna have a nice, clean exploration and no enemy encounters. I think that we are pretty. We last time we were fighting in the cathedral, I think that's our karma's back in our favor now.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe things are on the up and up. You never know.
Alright, so you guys are heading to the River District Park?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. So as you guys make your way out of the cathedral, and
Are we bringing Austin with us?
Austin was waiting by the door. He's kind of just like in his own head. And he's like, I don't really have anything to do tonight. I suppose I could join you if I really wanted to. But I don't even know if I want to anymore.
Come along, brother. We'd
It's
be
a
happy.
lovely night for a walk in the park.
Don't let those muscles go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Roll persuasion.
Well, it was going to be a 21, but it's actually a 5.
Oh. I don't know. Sister Fee has already put me on cleaning duty. She probably put me on double duty since I left without her permission. But I can at least explain to her that I heard some whining and screaming coming from Cathedral up over the ways. And I
Well,
was
we
just
won't-
doing my due diligence of checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we won't force you if you aren't 100% into it, but you know where to find us.
We can whiny scream in the park too. It could be your due diligence to come with us.
He gives you like a half smile, but it quickly goes away. He's like, maybe I'll be looking out for it. Or I guess hearing out for it. I don't know. I'll be hearing out for it. And he jumps back through the window that he broke in from before, and starts making his way back over to the temple.
What a nice young man.
And at this point, Verlemeyer steps up and he's like, I was gonna look over the
the people here at this church, it seems like they're in more of a desperate need than y'all. You seem pretty capable yourselves. I suppose I could do worse than helping you out if you still need somebody to accompany you.
I mean, more the merrier.
Yeah.
So it would help us if we ran into any of these descript groups.
Yeah. Or if Halfgor the vampire turns around on us.
Yeah, exactly. If he comes back with reinforcements, it'd be important.
You have seen him out in the day, right?
Yes, but you never know.
He could be like the master vampire, where day and night does not impact him at all.
I thought day and night affects
literally
you more.
He could be their Quasimodo ass assistant.
Calling him a hunchback?
Something like that.
You mean Eagle?
Alucard is what you're thinking of. Half vampire.
Quasimodo predicted all
Oh,
this.
yes, Frankenstein.
say.
I mean Frankenstein's monster.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
Of course. But I think if Brother Roberts is able to heal these people enough and board up those windows just for the night, they should be able to make it. But I do agree, trying to find this vampire threat at the root is going to be the most important thing at this point.
Yeah, because we don't want a whole town infected kind of situation. That would be insane to deal with.
Of course. I'll stick by you for now. And if we get anybody coming our way, I'm sure we can handle them.
I like the confidence.
Well, it's my style. You gotta be about what you're about.
Ain't that the truth?
Boy, are you about it?
I'm about it. I'm all about it.
All right, well, let's get all about over to the park.
All right, so y'all start making your way down to the street. After the divine intervention, the wind and the rain has started to pick up again. It's not as heavy again. It's just a light mist, enough to draw a little bit of fog out on the lush greenery that you guys see expanding upon you as you reach the park gate. Even though it is late at night, the park gate is slightly ajar. And I'm going to need each of y'all to roll an investigation check.
Nat fucking 20.
All right.
Raw.
So,
Grateful.
Roland, you knowing, breaking and entering, like, the back of your hand, you see that this gate is jimmied open, just enough for somebody to slip in through the bottom, but also there is a bit rougher of a, like, tear in the metal where obviously someone of great strength moved the fence aside to let themselves in.
Can I tell if this is recent or not?
You can tell that it is very recent. It is not normal for a gate to be like this, and you can tell that it was locked beforehand.
Ooh, gentlemen. Gather around. And I explain it just like you said. Where brute strength, very recent, be on our guard, might want to walk, backs facing each other as we enter the park. Stay stealthy, stay in the shadows. We already know that there's danger afoot. Big hunking danger, as the gate shows.
I couldn't agree more.
All right. So, do you guys decide to enter?
Oh yeah.
Right. So y'all walking through the little entry that has been made, and the cobblestone and pebble pathway is laid out before you. The moonlight kind of reflects off of the river as it shines a soft, noticeable glow. But it's green. Even in this low light, you can tell just like how in tune nature is, and it's very odd for you to interact with this kind of green area and this kind of nature in the middle of a city. But it has been properly maintained. Little parts of it have gone a little wild, but you can tell that it's a little bit for
just effect, just for aesthetic effect. But with the rain, with the moonlight, you also notice that a dense fog is creeping in from the water, coating the ground and coating the area in between the trees with an almost obscuring amount of, or an obscuring sight. And as you go through the gates and go down the path, you reach a bridge, and at this bridge, Verlemeyer says, "Yes, I've walked this park a couple times, many times, and there's a main path, a couple side paths here and there, but there is an old building, the park keeper grounds at the far side of the park. If we are to probably get any more information, it's going to be there."
Noted. Let's try to find the person that broke into this park via this fence gate and try to get the jump on them. Because I have a feeling that might be related to all of our troubles in town. So, before we go straight to the park center area, maybe we should make like a sort of sneak around if possible to try to find whomever else is in this park before we seek out the information desk.
Yeah, you want to try to like do a perimeter around the park, I guess.
If possible. There's a way to, I guess, get through the water, or just sneak over, or maybe even under the bridge, actually. It's possible for us to do that.
So, what exactly are you wanting to do? You want to go under the bridge?
Not be seen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I want to see the bridge, like, underside of it, if there's a way to get over to the other side without necessarily, like, drowning all of our gear.
You can, if you want to, you can make 2 rolls. You can make a perception check and a stealth check, and I'll see what you got from that point on.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Perception first. Dirty 20. Wait, I rolled sleight of hand. Don't even regard that. The first one was perception. What was the other one? The other one was stealth. Okay.
Yes.
My bad. And stealth is a nat 1. Oh. Do with that as you will. Nat 1 on stealth, but a fucking dirty 20 on perception.
So you're able to see that you're able to see that there is a shallow embankment that can lead to like a maintenance little sideway to this bridge. But as you're making your way to check out this maintenance hatch, you stumble on a muddy like slope, and you like loudly just roll down the hill until you splash dead on into the water.
Played off like I'm an animal.
Vermeyer, he looks over. Is this part of the act? Is this part of the act? Are we going as a pack of wolves?
This happens from time to time. Just follow his lead.
I start acting like a dog, trying to mask the fact that I fell on my ass.
Vermeyer, he joins in. He's just like,
all right, boys. Do you notice anything in the tree line?
You see, you're being eyeballed by some local stray dogs. And they're licking their lips. Like, Actually, roll an animal handling check.
Is this for all of us or just me?
Just for you.
Great. Oh boy. I think this is plus 0. Oh no, it's plus 2.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back.
All right.
6.
6. They're coming a little closer. They're licking their lips.
Hi, doggy. Hello, doggy.
Verlemeyer, he keeps it up. He's like,
I don't know what to do, man. Alright, I definitely want to climb out of the river, though, and, like, get away from the dogs, so I'm gonna move to do that, but I want to get out on the other side, even though, because I've already made the splash in the water. It's not like I'm hiding my presence at all.
Verlemeyer, so. he takes a break from his barking, and, like, he throws down a little bit of a rope from his pack, just so you can get out of the embankment a little bit easier.
Thank you. I'm gonna pull myself out on that rope.
Right, he helps you up. He also like starts throwing rocks at the dogs that are coming close. He goes, "Get on out of here! You're gonna mess up the stealth plan."
I'm gonna join him in throwing rocks as well.
They all skitter and flee.
Get out of here. Well, stealth might not be the best option next. Perhaps maybe we should actually try that information booth once Kythos and Pyrite tag along.
I mean, the groundskeepers they keep a good, they keep a good tact or information about what goes on at the park. So if anyone's gonna know anything, it's gonna be them.
Mm-hmm.
We can keep making our way over there. It's not a short walk, but it's not exactly, too terribly long.
Yeah, I think we could do it.
Well, let's get going then. So as y'all,
I think, like you said, we should sort of avoid the main path, and if we need to, like, walk slightly off of it,
of course,
so that we're in by the trees.
We can do that while we also go to the information booth, because I've fucked our chances at stealth. Anything in this park now knows we're here.
Or we can take some of the leaves from the bushes, put it in our armor, and then if people see us, they think we're just bushes.
I like the way you think.
Great idea.
Verlemeyer immediately starts like taking leaves and putting it into his armor. And then he's like, "Look!" And he like crouches down. It's a very loud armor set. Like he's wearing like chainmail with like a breastplate on, so it clanks around a lot. And he ducks down, holds his knees, and like there's a couple of leaves that cover his back.
He's got the spirit. I will give him that.
Oh my God, where did Verlemeyer go? Where did this bush come from?
Where did this great teammate go? Where did he go?
I don't know how to say this, but I've been here the whole time. I'm the bush.
Whoa!
My days as a thief, or as a stealthy thief, are long past.
For my he starts like bear crawling around whenever like at the slightest movement he like stops and like curls up into a ball.
That's a devoted last resort support character if I've ever seen one.
So,
yeah.
You'll start making your way to the groundskeeper building. Go ahead and roll I'll have each of y'all roll like a percentage die. So just roll a d10.
1d10?
Yeah, just roll a d10.
Do we have it? Oh, okay.
3.
30, okay.
A 9.
Okay.
Hey. All right.
So you're all good for now. Just crawling along. Every so often, like you hear like maybe a rustle in the trees somewhere, like a wild animal, like a squirrel or a chipmunk or a bird, just gets disturbed by the clanking around of Verlemeyer as he like bear crawls around. And you'll eventually find a very large stone building at the end of the pathway that you have not seen, like where it's gone, where it's come from, where it led from. But it's a large stone building, some simple torches out front, and lots of like mud flung up on the walls. It's very rustic, but the plant growth and the area around it is very well trimmed. The ivy is not creeping up the walls. The roof is very well maintained. And you can tell that this is a very well cared for building.
Interesting. Let's look around before we just go knocking on the front door. Again, our people might be in here, so we gotta be careful. Very, very sneakily.
Mm-hmm.
So
we may still be able to be stealthy at this point.
So what are you planning on doing right now?
I want to look in some windows, personally.
Right. Good, roll a perception check.
21.
Okay. You
17
can
plus 4.
So you see very, very easily that the bottom, like all the lights in the building are off, or yeah, most of them are off. There's like one light at the very top that's very dim, and you can see it kind of like pulsing in and out, and you could probably assume that it's a fireplace.
Gentlemen, I think somebody's in here.
Signs of life.
Yeah. There's a fire roaring in there. Somebody had to have started it. So they could still be in there. They could be out and about. I couldn't tell. Couldn't see if anybody was in there, but I have a feeling there might be.
Well, how do you suggest we surprise our little guest here?
I don't think we should break in if this is the actual park authority. I mean,
When have we ever stopped and respected authority before breaking in?
it's a good question. Are we here? We're technically here after hours, right? Like, there's nothing saying that, like, we weren't the people that tore open the fence.
Yes. So the park would normally be closed at this point. Yes.
I got an idea.
All right. Share.
What if we kind of like ding dong ditch this place? Like we knock, run away, we see who opens the door,
And then we all hide as bushes.
and then we all hide as bushes after ding dong ditching.
And then when they come outside, they're gonna see that there's a bunch of bushes around them. And them being park managers, they're gonna want to come and cut us. And then when they come and cut us, we pop out, we say "tricked ya," and then they'll be so off put that they'll be like forced to answer our questions, right?
I love that idea, but again, last resort is a majority rules. We're not in that
All right, who votes for the bushes? And Vermeyer raises his hand.
I would raise my hand too, honestly.
Two votes for bushes? That's
Dude,
almost a majority.
Plan Bush.
I like the idea of the ding dong ditching. I think what
So you're also,
do is we
you're
could
also
use
team-
Rosie to just scratch or meow up against the door.
Mm.
So
like
that way we don't have to worry about running and most likely tripping.
Vermeyer leans
The-
over to you, Lon. He's like, "They're not Team Bush."
What Rosie could be a cat, or
That's
maybe
a-
even
that's
like
a good idea.
woodpecker, like a bird.
You should hear him out.
I think a woodpecker would be hilarious, personally.
Well, I think I changed her into a cat within my last short rest.
I would
so-
say that in between y'all, like the investigation could count as a short rest. So if you want to do it, and if you want to like regain any hit points, I don't know if any of y'all got like too terribly hurt in the past encounter.
No.
I'm at full health right now.
I am as well. I think we took a short rest after that fight. Could be wrong though.
Yeah.
Okay. I still have. Let's see if I were to take a short rest. Hold up. Let me. Yeah, I'll do one more trying to regain hit points. So. And I'm supposed to regain 1d10 plus 3. I'd gain back 11. Okay, so I'd be at full health now.
Okay.
All right, great. What did you suggest? A woodpecker?
I think it's a good idea.
All right. So I look at Rosie and I'm like, you can do woodpecker, right?
Rosie, like, she like goes, meow, and as you say woodpecker, like you see like her tail kind of like swirls up and then puffs out into tail feathers. Her back straightens up, turning into a feathery carapace as well, and her short little cat nose elongates even more and more and more and stretches out into a woodpecker beak. And yeah, Rosie is now a red-breasted woodpecker.
Whoa.
All right, great. So
that audio.
let's all go hide. And
As bushes,
I
right?
suppose, yeah, pretend to be bushes.
Yes! Yes!
And then
Team Bush,
Rosie
Team Bush. He goes up
will-
for a high five, Roland.
I'll high five him very quietly.
It's
I
very
like,
soft. It's very soft. He has a lot of leaves in his hand.
good. Okay. Yeah. Then I high five him for sure.
Team Bush, Team Bush.
Yeah.
All right,
So I make a move to hide along with the rest of the guys.
All right, so over here, guys. We can be like a circle of bushes. He hands you like 2 branches, Pirate.
I go, thanks, and I stick them into my belt. Now, they're low-hanging branches.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know, every bush needs a shrub.
Mhm.
Yep.
You're a philosopher.
Well, thanks. And as you send Rosie over, you're just having her peck on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rosie flies over, and she like goes up to the door, and very very quickly, like I'm trying to knock really fast, but it was just like,
Knock, knock.
and she knocks, and you don't see anything like immediately. You do see after a minute of Rosie kind of like knocking that the light up at the top like shifts a little bit, and you hear some like commotion going on in inside the house. After another second or two of listening, you hear coming on from the inside. Well, what the hell is that? And inside, like the door like creaks open, and there's this like huge bearded fella. He's like long and wiry, and he looks out like the top of the door. He has like a big stick in his hand, and he looks around for a minute.
Can I start whispering to everybody in the bushes, or would that be like too much?
No, you can whisper. He's pretty far away. Like,
I think I just came
hello,
up with a I just came up
hello.
with a really good idea. If we know there are people in the park besides us, maybe we can coax him out of leaving his house so that he can investigate with us without knowing he's investigating with us.
I don't remember those bushes being over there.
I'm not laughing out loud. I'm just laughing at the fact that he just said
He scratches his chin.
Roll for stealth. Roll for stealth.
Yeah, roll stealth. Yeah, why not?
that. I'm
Roll,
rolling.
wait, no, roll a nature check.
Okay, the stealth one I just rolled doesn't count then. The 4 I just rolled.
No. What's your nature? What's your nature?
I didn't
Nat 20.
Nat
Okay.
20. You guys look
Hold
over.
on.
Pyrite is not there.
I start freaking the fuck out. Alright, look, I'm rolling my nature roll now.
No,
I
wait,
got a
no. Wait,
2.
what was the roll? What was the roll? Was a nat 1?
No. The roll I did earlier was a stealth roll, and I got a 10 for that. My nature roll was a 2 just now.
Oh,
My
no.
nature roll was a 5.
let me roll Verlemeyer's. Verlemeyer probably has like a -1 to this.
Yeah. Those leaves aren't doing any work. Any favors.
It's 3. So like you guys are literally sitting over there. It's like you have like 2 branches in your hands, but you're just squatting. And Pyrite is not there.
Ain't no way.
After a second, the guy in the doorway, he straightens out a little bit, and he's like, "Huh? What? What? Hey! You guys crouching over there in the bush. What are you doing in the park at night?"
All right, I'm sprinting away. I give up. I give up my cover, and I'm immediately beelining it for like inside his house.
I follow suit.
He is going to cast Entangle
No,
on
no,
y'all.
no, no. No, no,
I
no,
think
no.
Entangle is a Dex save. I want to say it's either a Dex or a Strength save. It is spell save DC. I'll say it's like a 16. It is strength saving throw. Be restrained by entangling plants. Yeah. Strength save 16.
Great. So it's just guaranteed to hit if I don't roll above a 16. Is that what I'm hearing?
What's your? Yes.
My armor class is 16, if that matters.
Well, you have to roll. You have to roll above a 16, guys.
A strength saving throw?
Yes.
Here goes nothing. A 3.
Mm-hmm.
This
Brother
is
is gonna
on the
roll
ship again.
He has a. I'll say he has a 7 plus 7 to it. He passes. He gets 24. Kythos, what's your strength save?
Let me take a look. I'm rolling strength here. I got a 7.
So both you and Roland are immediately wrapped up in these vines. So this tall, wiry man with his beard, like he shakes his stick, and it glows like from the cracks beneath the bark. It glows a little bit, and vines like wrap up around your feet, and you are immediately immobilized. You know, I really don't take too kindly to people wandering around the park at night, especially on a foggy night like it is tonight, and especially when there's a woodpecker keeping me up when I'm supposed to be asleep.
Sir, we were trying to get your attention. There's
Well, you got it!
broken into the park. That isn't us. You see, we're looking for vampires, and
What?
that just happened to lead us to this park. And we believe that there is somebody much more menacing walking around in this park. That isn't us. And I point to, like, Kythos.
Yeah, we definitely.
Then why were you pretending to be bushes?
Well, we didn't want to startle you, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we wanted to get your attention, but not startle you.
Well, mission failed. I'd found that there's a bunch of odd bushes around my house.
Well, that's beside the point. What we need to tell you is that there's a vampire out there that could very drastically impact the state of your local community and make everybody vampires. We already dealt with that by fighting people at the cathedral that were vampires, and we don't want another vampire breakout.
And the guy kind of like rubs his head and he's like, "Oh my god, again with the vampires. I thought they were gonna stay out of the park."
What do you mean by again?
Listen, kid, if you stay in the city long enough, you know what, well, I guess figuratively pumps the blood through the city.
Oh, well, unfortunately, we're not from these parts, but we are actively trying to learn as much information as we can. So anything that is educational for us on our journey and will help save people, save lives, we're happy to do that. We're actually called The Last Resort. We're just a end of 3 people and sometimes some support characters.
Well,
you may have heard of Halfgor before. Very nice guy.
Oh yeah,
and,
no, I read his blogs out in the market district.
Yeah, that happened.
Well, hey, you'll be reading on some of our adventures in the last couple of days. You could be a part of it.
Really? You guys know Halfgor?
We
could
do.
be a part of his blog.
Tumblr.com/Halfgor. He's on there.
That's surprising. I didn't think Halfgor had guests on his blog.
Yeah. We're the primetime running show there on the Halfgor webpage.
The Halfgor network.
Please, so you have to listen. There's danger in this park, and it isn't just us. There's
And you won't,
somebody
and you
big
won't get to
lurking
be,
around.
and you won't get to be a famous Halfgor celebrity if you don't let us go and come help us.
So, Pirate, you're hearing half of this conversation. You see that this tall, like wiry man has just wrapped up your friends. You're hearing like things, vampires, and then explaining them. The guy is just like kind of like standing over both of them with his hand on his hip and his other hand on his stick.
Mm-hmm.
What's your immediate action?
Well, as I am still hidden, I don't really give that up. And this guy doesn't seem like he's caught Kythos and Pyrite, but he doesn't seem like gonna actively hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Has he stepped away from like the front of his?
Yeah, he's like in front of them both.
Okay, is his door open? Like, could I command Rosie to like fly in?
Sure.
Possibly.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna want her to like fly in and try to like get a glimpse of what's on the inside. That I just want.
So
Is this guy in cahoots with the vampires or what?
So on the inside, you see it's a pretty like cozy. It's a very large building. Lots of the wings are like depreciated. Like there's a lot of like furniture that's just kind of moved to the side, like a bunch of rooms. Lots of gardening equipment, lots of like things for spells. Like there's an herbalism wing, a large like place for keeping dried fruits, dried vegetables, all the other sort of things. You see a map of the park in very, very high detail. But you don't really see much else other than like pretty much what would be in like a really large shed.
Okay.
And we'll cut back to the other half.
Please, sir, you have to listen to us.
The vampires.
Well, you
Right.
clearly know about them, seeing as how you've had to deal with their troubles. Yes. The letters. We just fought and killed a bunch of their thralls. And I fear they might be...
The letters
embedded
don't make thralls. They make people that are dumb enough to fall into their fold do all their bidding.
Well, beg to differ. We just fought a bunch of their thralls last night.
Mm-hmm.
Better safe
You.
than sorry when it comes to fighting vampires.
The bush guys fought a bunch of thralls.
Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but believe me, I wouldn't be sitting here in this park spouting it if it didn't actually happen.
The guy scratches his chin again. He waves his stick again. He lets out the entangle. He's like, "Well, I mean, at least y'all seem mostly kind of like eyes you up again, harmless, whatever. At least you don't seem like you're gonna do me any harm." But
We have no reason or motive to do any harm to you. We are just trying to fight vampires. That is it.
well,
Or whatever else is lurking around in this park.
if anything, I'm up now. Do you want to come inside and we can talk about this over some tea?
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Very kind of you to invite us.
And what about your friend over there? And he points over to a tree. Verlemeyer is like standing, like he's like turned around. He has like more leaves.
Yeah, he can come too.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
So
All right. And
just the three of us.
the guy walks back, opens the door back over to his abode. And Pirate, what do you want Rosie to be doing? She's in this house.
I would prefer that she not be found. So, are any of the windows by out?
If you want, the windows are all closed right now.
Hmm. Then I'll just let's see. He knew that there was a woodpecker, so I'll just have like fly by him on the way out.
Right, he's gonna make a dex check to see if he can't catch it as Rosie flies past. Actually, I'll make it contested.
Okay.
Still using the hawk sheets for Rosie. Let's see. I think since he's only a druid, he's gonna have like maybe a +2 to it. You get a +3.
All right. So do the saving throw.
Just contested. Contested.
All right. So just roll my regular dexterity.
Yes. All right. He gets a 14.
All right. So I rolled a 12. So then a +3, you said?
Yep, that's 15. So Rosie is just barely able to like get out of his hands as he like instinctively like he's like closing his eyes and he like reaches up just as Rosie like just corkscrews out of his hand and through the door out into the night sky. And he says, "Damn, almost got her. Didn't even think we had any more woodpeckers out here, but well, whatever." And he walks back through the doorway. And he starts putting together some teapots. You hear a clatter from the kitchen. He throws like a couple like sprigs of leaves here, and a bundle of this in this cup. He has like a little conjure flame cantrip. Holds it beneath like a kettle until it starts whistling, and quickly whips up these 3 cups of tea. And hands one to each one of y'all. And he sits down, large like wicker chair, and he like leans forward. Just, all right, well, this business with the letters and the thralls and chasing monsters, whatever. Just go about it. Explain it however you see fit.
Kythos does... Okay, well, my deception's high, but I don't want to deceive this guy. Like, I want to tell him legitimately. My persuasion's fairly high. I have a +3. Like, proficiency in persuasion. Kythos, should I be the one to tell the guy? Or,
You're more than welcome to tell him, yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna just tell it how it is. I'm literally gonna tell him from not all of the detail, like working with the princess and whatnot, but I'm gonna tell him basically like day 1 of Vaderon until now, like what happened to Cinder, our night at the cathedral, pretty much everything else before that, and just all of the happenings with the different groups we have. Like I'm trying to get a lay of the land and how this guy's park relates to it, with the vampires, the Sons of the Machine, the Timberborns, and the Waxworms, and everybody else in this whole web of conspiracy. And while I'm doing that, I also want to like kind of sniff the tea and see if there's any like poison or anything in it.
Make a survival check.
I'll wait for you like subtly to nod or if it's good or not.
Okay, 12.
It's brewing. It's not like sweetened or anything. You can tell that it's pretty natural.
All right, I'll take like a little sip. I do, of course, have an advantage against poison for saving throws, so I'll take a little sip, but not too much more.
I'll take a small sip.
Well, it tastes fairly earthy. Like you can tell that like it probably could have steeped a little bit longer. The flavor isn't coming through at all just yet.
That's okay.
Yeah. But as you finish up your stories, you walk your way through it. The druid, he kind of like leans forward and rubs his beard a little bit, some more. Like, oh, well, I mean, if it ain't the truth, it's a very good story. I could imagine Halfgor writing about it in one of his blogs. So that's it's something you could at least give him a run for his money. But with the letters being at the park and them attacking a bunch of people and all this stuff happening, I mean, I haven't really seen it. I haven't seen the impact of it. But if people are scared and people are getting hurt, I don't really see an issue of y'all going around the park and just seeing what's what.
but you said you're chasing after a thrall that's around here and trying to find some oak.
Yeah, that's another thing that we should probably mention. If you've ever heard of the Big Hollow Oak, it's a thing that a friend of ours referenced that might be a lead on figuring out this vampire problem, or anybody else in town relating. So, any indication as to where that would be? Maybe in this park?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of oaks, but there's a big, not really hollow. It's one of the older trees in the park. It's over by the marble fountain in the center of the spiral walkway.
Interesting.
But if anything, if you're still looking for that thrall business, I can do a little something myself. And he's gonna put his 2 fingers in his mouth and let out a real sharp whistle. And as he does, like blue lights start like emitting from like the floorboards of the manor, and from these blue lights like erupt 5 rats. They come out that. And the guy leans over and he's just like, you can tell like he's talking in a speech that it's not his own. He's squeaking at these mice, at these rats. He's like, and they all like jump up and down, and they run out the door. Pyrite, some of them run past you, and you have to like keep yourself from crying out in fear.
I sadly sing to myself like, I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules.
There's one sizably larger rat that walks slower.
That does indeed make all the rules.
But and he looks to y'all and he's like, if anything happens or anything turns up, they'd be able to at least tell me about it.
Alright.
But if something's going down in my park, I'm gonna figure it out before anybody else.
Noted.
But if anything, if y'all find anything or I'll find anything, you know where to find me, and it gives you a wink. I know where to find y'all.
Alright. Well, thank you for your hospitality. So, I guess we'll,
Any
let you
tea to
know if we
go?
find anything. No, I'll finish mine here.
What about a
lug
to-go?
The whole thing down.
What about a to-go salad?
I mean, if you're offering, sure, I'll take a to-go salad.
And he walks over into the other room, starts whipping together a bunch of stuff, and in a small leather pouch, he takes some oil, just like sprays it in, and he hands you like an especially greasy pouch of salad.
Yum.
You'd assume it crunches with the slightest touch.
Sweet. I'll have like a little bite right now. I want to taste test it.
It's the most. It is the most oily salad you've ever tasted. Like,
Sweet. I
like
love
no
this oil.
dressing, no salt, no pepper, no Parmesan, no croutons. It's just lettuce and oil.
Yum. Thank you, sir. I mean, I've had prison food worse. I'm not gonna say that out loud, so I'm just gonna take a bite and be grateful and be on my way.
What about y'all two? Salads?
Salad
Salad?
would be good. Salad would be good, sir.
He throws you another sack of salad.
Thank you.
And he throws one at Verlemeyer. He does not catch it and just hits him square in the face with a soft thud.
Ouch.
But yeah, so he sends y'all on his way. He goes back up to bed. And yeah, the moon is shining directly overhead.
Well, gentlemen, I guess we will continue walking through the park.
Fellas, I'm going to be honest. I am very tired right now.
I was going to
So-
suggest
I
something
am as
similar.
well.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it looks like we'll be going through the park another time.